Okay, so that's about different approaches. Let's move to benchmarking. So let's say you decided what you want to do, and now you need to find the data and actually know what's the market rate for like engineers in Poland, or like what's the market rate for like designers in Portugal. But before we go to this, I just wanted to like describe like one problem that like many, I think, remote companies have is how you define market for like remote employees. So imagine you want to hire like a React engineer in Brazil, right? And you go to like you look at like the salary data for Brazil, right? And you see like, okay, so they took all the engineers in Brazil and they survey them for like how much money they make, right? And this is the result. So like 50% make more than 30,000, but it's rarely higher than like 40,000. So this is like the market for like all the engineers in Brazil. Here's the problem. If you want to hire an engineer in Brazil who will work for you remotely, you will have like very, very hard time to like find someone for 40K. There's like very, very low for like those remote engineers. They're not going to look at you. And it's like very, very hard to find people like for those rates. Why? Because they have access to like way more opportunities, right? Like they're not constrained by like only working for like companies in Brazil. They can work for like US-based companies. They have much more opportunities. At the same time, their salaries are not the same as like San Francisco salaries, right? So this is like, if you want to hire someone in SF, like you can expect a salaries between 150 to 180, but there's not that many remote engineers from Brazil who make 170K. That happens, but it's not like the majority of the market. So the rate for like those people is like somewhere in between, right? It's like not SF, but it's like neither like the local one. And the question is like where it is, right? So we're very lucky because we work with like a lot of, thousands of people. So we can look at the data. And here's like, this is like the data based on like, hundreds of React engineers from Brazil that have access to remote opportunities. This is the market. Like you can find people, in this range. So you can see it's like much higher than the local one, but it's also lower than San Francisco one. Okay, so what you can use to find the data. So we really like using Pave and Option Impact. Actually, Pave acquired Option Impact recently, but those companies, they have like really nice real-time data from US-based companies. So like if you have any employees in the United States, Pave and Option Impact give you like a really nice data and very accurate. If you look for something free, then you can use PayScale. They have like pretty decent data on like US-based salaries. Something I personally use a lot is like there's a company called Hays, Hays. This is like a big consulting company, and they work in like many markets. Once a year, they like issue like this report on like salaries. But the nice thing is like they have the same report for like different countries. So you can like by using those reports, you can very quickly see like, okay, what's the salary for like accountants in US, but also what's the salary of accountants in Portugal. So Hays is like really good if you need like information like this. And the last thing is something that we've been working on recently. So we actually would like to, the data that I showed you, we actually like to make it public. And this is something that will be available for free, like on our website, probably within the next 2 weeks. But we want like to give everyone like the access to this data because we couldn't find like the one place where you have like this data for like remote employees. So that's something we wanted to share with everyone.